Welcome to day 2 of Butterfly Day at Empty Mountain. These lovely little friends were out in droves yesterday and also delightfully today as well. It's March 27th, and yesterday I think we made it to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and today it's in the 60s, and apparently that calls forth the butterflies, which is amazing. And they're just kind of everywhere, which is great. So today is fill the propane bottles day, and Mike is off-site working, so I am tending to this rather important matter because our 2-burner Coleman camp stove, which is our kitchen's workhorse, operates on these small tanks. Unfortunately, you can refill them if you have the right adapter to attach to a 20-pound propane tank. So we get our larger tanks filled. I take them to town, and then we fill our smaller bottles up with the bigger tank. We have a scale, so we weigh the bottles because it's important that you not overfill them. And we just do our own refill. Let's see. I've created a very creative, camera stand here. Note to self: get a tripod for your camera. Okay. When she's self-filming, you know, it'd be helpful. So these are empty. And I just kind of like to weigh them ahead of time just to get a sense for like where I'm starting at. So this is 13.93. 13.93 ounces. And our max fill that we want to do on these bottles is 29 ounces. So I use this old nail to insert here and let off some pressure from the bottles. It kind of preps the bottles to be filled. Just checking safety, that's off. Bigger propane bottle needs to be turned off before I attach the smaller bottles. And then I just open the bigger bottle just a little bit. I don't have to open it all the way to fill it. And then I just wait and listen. I can hear it filling, and so when it stops, when I can't hear it anymore, then I'll take it off. And so we usually have to do this, depending on the temperature outside, we usually have to attach the bottle either 2 or 3 times to fill up all the way. You just kind of have to like prep it and then release some and then put some more in and release some pressure in order to fill it more. Okay, then this is really important. We need to make sure to turn off the big propane before I remove the smaller bottle. Otherwise, it'll go shooting off. Do not want that. Okay, so that's 19.29. Okay, we let some out and then we reattach it. I've already done a couple of bottles. This is my third one. So far they've been taking me two fills, like I'm attaching each bottle twice, weighing it, releasing some pressure, and then reattaching it to fill it. So 2 times per bottle, it's pretty good. Not too bad. When Mike left for work this morning, he's like, remember, the most important thing is that you turn off the big bottle before you unattach the smaller bottles. And I was like, yep, good reminder. Turn off the big tank before removing the little tank. Once you can't hear it anymore, it's not really filling. So that's why it's kind of like, it's a pretty good indicator. To just listen. Okay. And because you have to tip the tank upside down to fill them, you have to like turn the knob the opposite way. So I'm always like just double checking that I'm actually closing it and turning off the bigger bottle before removing the smaller one. Sometimes there is still some pressure when you take it off, but so that's 25.19, and now I could do it again, like release some and reattach it to get a little bit more in it, but 29 is our max fill, and that's close enough, I think. So I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna call it on that one. So having the scale is pretty important. That's a helpful and important tool for doing this, so that we make sure we don't overfill them. It's actually kind of hard to overfill them, but it's not impossible. And yeah, it just makes sense to buy a little kitchen scale to do this whole process. And you know, we have enough bottles where with our usage, maybe we're filling all the bottles. We have like 8 bottles. Maybe we're filling them every 2 or 3 weeks, so not super time consuming. And you know, eventually once we get like our kitchen actually built in and we're not operating on like a camp setup, we'll actually buy at least a stovetop. I don't think we'll get an oven. I don't think we would need that enough and or use it enough, but we'll get a 4-burner stovetop and pipe out to a larger propane tank outside. So that's where we're heading. But right now the 2-burner Coleman works great, and actually we just got a new one. So now we have 2 cook stoves, although we're just using one inside the cabin. But yeah, gosh, it makes it really pretty slick doing the, you know, being able to refill them. So we're not wasting these, and it's just, of course, way less expensive to refill them versus buy those canisters. And then, yeah, we can just reuse them. And I think Mike said he found someone on YouTube who talked about, like, having the same set of bottles for, like, years, like 10 years. So, I mean, these, you know, can hold up, you know, which is nice, and just keep being refilled. And you know, there are some safety you know, safety precautions, and you know, the bottles say you're not supposed to refill them, and something also about like transporting them, like not anyway, I don't know, like if you refill them, you shouldn't move them around very much. But anyway, so, but if you have the right tools, you know, it works great. And yeah, so one of our systems there, setups, and yesterday was our first Humanor loading day since we've been back. We got back February 19th. So I think, so we were here 5 weeks. We had enough buckets for the 2 of us, where I just did a load yesterday. So I had 7 buckets. There's all the fresh, clean buckets under there, and a bucket and a half of veggie compost. And so I loaded this yesterday while Mike was away at work. And I don't think our temperature has gone up very much yet. So it's not super activated yet. Sometimes it takes a little while. And when I dug into it, the pile yesterday, so like dig at, you know, kind of dig a well into it to load it, and then smooth it back over, add some straw. But yesterday when I dug into it, the outside was still pretty frozen. So like the inside core was pretty easy to dig. But it was there's still quite a bit of frozen material in there because we were gone all winter and we weren't loading it. So it might take a little while to activate it. And as you can see, this one's getting pretty full. This is our original bin that we built like 2 years ago. So it's getting pretty full, so we'll have to build another bin, and then we'll cap this and let it sit for a year. That's kind of the protocol, undisturbed for a year, and then we can spread out this or use it. I mean, we're not gardeners out here, but if we were, we could use that on the garden, and but we'll just spread it around maybe some of the trees once that's done after a year of sitting. So we'll build another bin, start loading that. So yeah, we you know, we're coming along out here, getting our systems. This is what remains left of some sawdust that I got last year in the fall. There's where we store our straw, which goes on top, and once you load it, and the sawdust goes in the buckets, which go inside the loo buckets. So anyway, so that was one of our systems. So we're getting good sun today through the panels. We did we plugged in our refrigerator like 3 days ago, starting to get warm. You know, we saw the temperatures were going to start warming up, and we're like, okay, the season for the outdoor refrigerator is ending. So we had around 5 weeks of that once we got home, being able to just store food outside. But as you can see, we don't really have any snow left. This is what remains of the snow pile that was housing our fridge buckets. So we've got our fridge plugged in, which now means we need more electricity draw to fuel up the house battery. So we have been using the generator a little bit more than we were since we have the refrigerator going inside. We've been using the shower house, which is awesome. We need to do a little bit of tweaking of the hose. We need to get a new hose to run to the rain barrel here that the pump operates on. But right now we're just kind of putting a 5-gallon bucket out here of water and running the hose through it. And then we've also been putting our little Heater Buddy propane heater in here when it's cold out, and we just put the heater in here, and then the shower is luxurious, I'll tell you. The shower house is amazing. This wood is so pretty, it smells so nice. And yeah, we've been showering out here. I mean, this stays plenty warm. It's hooked up to the propane tank. Shower-wise, it's for sure. The water stays plenty warm. But the ambient temperature outside, I mean, you know, is still chilly. And so I think maybe the lowest temperature-wise it's been outside when we've showered is maybe in like the low 40s. I've been keeping notes, but something like that. So it can get a little chilly when you don't have the water running, or you know, in between things. So we put the little heater buddy in there, and that was awesome. Yeah, so it's man, it's so great. We built this last spring, so it still feels kind of new, and it's just amazing to be able to take showers out here. The systems that they have available for like off-grid without running water people like us. You know, there's a lot of cool systems out there that exist, so that's great. But yeah, today at Empty Mountain looks like this. Into springtime in the woods and the mountains. Still chilly at night, you know, and in the morning. And actually this weekend I think our high is supposed to be like 45. So you just, again, you never know. Springtime in the mountains means you just never know. Anything is possible, but today the sun is shining. It's like 60 something degrees. Amazing.